Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport and Sports Keeler's preview of Extreme Rules, whereas, not so extreme in WWE because of the PG rating, but they've been pushing the limit ever since Kofi Kingston flipped the burden. Corey Graves swore on live on commentary at the beginning of Raw, yeah, that's right, Andy, flipping the bird. I wasn't going to do it because, thought keep it PG ourselves, but breaking the rules, breaking the boundary, TV 14 now. Let's move on then to the actual card itself, and 10 matches on the card, including the Undertaker on there later on. We'll be discussing his match, but first we're going to kick off with Undertaker Jr., aka Aleister Black, taking on Cesaro in what would be I think Aleister Black's first proper singles match on the WWE main roster under his proper gimmick, what he should be doing, because of course he was paired up with Ricochet to begin with, and Cesaro as well coming in now looking like he's going to get a push. So Andy, out of these two, the strongest one will survive, and who will get the strongest push will survive? And I think it's going to be Aleister Black, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I like what they've been doing with Cesaro over the last few weeks, just having him have dominant wins. He's got slightly tweaked his look with different trunks. He's got a new entrance theme, and you're thinking, they're actually going to finally go all in on Cesaro, and then as soon as he's paired with Aleister Black, it's like, well, he isn't winning that. Obviously, Aleister Black's the hot young thing sort of thing. So I think it'll be a really great match. It's a perfect opponent for Aleister Black, and like you said, his first real showcase the singles act on the main roster. So I think it'll be a great match. Aleister Black will win. To me, I'd be quite happy for it to carry on over the next couple of months, exchanging victories. But I think they're going to go hard on Aleister Black for the rest of the year. So unfortunately for that, Cesaro's just there to have a great match, making him look $1 million. And then hopefully Cesaro's push carries on elsewhere somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully Cesaro gets back into the frame, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to lose this one. Revival versus the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships, another one that was essentially booked at lastminute.com, and as a result, Andy, I don't really see the titles changing hands. I think the Revival are going to continue on going. They got some nice new shirts out at the moment as well. They're looking pretty slick, and a yellow and a red with the two guys in the middle, the two guys, and I think as a result of the fact that they're pairing with Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre as well, I think Revival going to win this one too. Andy, what have you got?
I hope so. I wouldn't be surprised if the Usos somehow got the belts. Like you said, it's all very last minute. For me, I'm leaning towards the Revival. I'm hoping the Revival. I think they're regardless of what people say, I think the Revival are the best tag team in the world, regardless of what promotion we're talking about. And it's great to see them having the spotlight, even if it is kind of in the shadow of Shane McMahon a little bit. But still, the Revival getting time on TV to have great matches, to cut great promos with the Raw Tag Team Championships. Yeah, hopefully that continues. That's what I'm going with anyway.
Braun Strowman, that is, taking on Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match. Of course, 2 weeks ago, none of them were standing when they crashed through the set of Raw into the pyro and electrical area, and it looked as though both men had died, but Bobby Lashley was back the next night cutting a promo nevertheless. And he was back this week as well, sending a warning to Strowman through beating down Rey Mysterio. I mean, obviously two very much equally men, Rey Mysterio and Braun Strowman, very, very closely similar. I don't have to put up pictures to let you know that. But I did see a couple of news reports, Andy, that Paul Heyman does like Braun Strowman, and I think this could be a start of a mini push for him to see what he's got in terms of getting himself back up into the spotlight once more. So I think Strowman's going to win this one, but with last man standing matches, we would imagine this would probably be one of the longest matches of the night, considering as well both men are very brute in stature. So it'd be interesting to see how it's booked, but I think Strowman's going to win this one, I think.
Yeah. Me too. On that one, it's to the credit of I say to the credit, last week at least, and even this week to an extent on Raw, it got me interested in Bobby Lashley. Which, I think the last time I was interested in Bobby Lashley was probably when MVP was his mouthpiece in TNA or Impact Wrestling, whatever it was called at the time, which nobody gave a shit about. No, it's I don't know. It's got me interested a little bit in Lashley. I think Strowman's going to win. But I just think in the way it's been booked, though, it doesn't make Braun Strowman look great so far. The fact that he was the one delivering the offensive maneuver that put Lashley through the stage, but Lashley was, like you said, he was on TV the next night in a recorded promo, and then he was the one that was on Raw the following week, whereas we've not seen Braun Strowman. It's like, well, you're kind of making Bobby Lashley look like a physically stronger, more well-rounded athlete out of the two of them. I think Strowman will win, and then where'd you go with him from there, though? It's one of those examples of like missing the moment with Braun Strowman. There was a chance, mainly when Roman Reigns was kind of the face, when it was people were crying out for Rollins or Strowman. They were both white hot baby faces, ready for that top spot, and they missed it with Strowman. They dropped the ball, and the same with Rollins, and then obviously Roman being out with his leukemia, that allowed Rollins to step back into the spotlight. But yeah, it feels like with Strowman, it's going to take a lot to heat him back up to a top level talent again, I think. But this will be the start of it, hopefully.
Yeah,
that was really long-winded. I think Braun Strowman from Lashley would be the match we talk about the most. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, hopefully Strowman will continue on and redevelop himself to be a top guy in the Raw roster once more. Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. Andy, we promised not to talk about 18 minutes again for the Cruiserweights, so I'm going to finish it up right here, and I'm going to say Drew Gulak retains, and unfortunately I think Tony Nese goes back a little bit and then comes back later on. What have you got?
Yes.
Yes,
no,
I agree.
maybe Tony Nese is being groomed for a spot on SmackDown or Raw, I don't know. But yeah, I think Gulak wins, Tony Nese at the title picture. That's that for them.
All right, Ricochet versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship. Well, quite an entertaining feud so far between these two. Of course, AJ Styles turning heel on Ricochet 2 weeks ago, reforming the club with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and their spanking new 5-year contracts, which has got too much money for anyone to handle. But, you know, Ricochet is another one that Paul Heyman likes. He's got potential to be a top baby face on the card if he's pushed correctly, and Paul Heyman, you know, certainly likes him, so he's on that right warpath at the moment. And AJ Styles, you know, we know how good of a superstar he is as a heel, as a babyface. This time around as a heel once more with the club. It's really tough to call, Andy, so I'm going to go for a Ricochet win, but I'm going to go by disqualification. I think the club members are going to get involved in this one and help AJ Styles win, beat him down, potentially to the point where, you know, Ricochet's actually good on the offense. He looks like he's going to get a really good clean win against AJ Styles, and then Luke Gallows and Anderson come in and cause havoc, and we have the club standing tall over Ricochet to end the match. What have you got?
I think that's how it's going to end, but I don't know. If you go by standard narrative, then Ricochet's been the piss beaten out of him the last 2 weeks, so you're thinking he's going to win. But I think for this feud to progress, and fresh off the reformation of the club, I think AJ wins this one. I think AJ gets the title, and then I think they do beat Ricochet down afterwards, and the feud carries on for the next few months. I'd be very happy with that. AJ Styles versus Ricochet, I can watch it all day, every day. They've given us a glimpse of what they're capable of. I think this is just the beginning of what hopefully will be a nice lengthy feud. But AJ for the win.
Yes. AJ Styles for the win. I'm going to go for Ricochet disqualification win, so he retains the title.
You're not gonna line there.
You know, the club are going to get involved in that one way or another for both of us, I do believe. So, SmackDown Tag Team Championship triple threat match: Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the New Day of Big E and Xavier Woods, and Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. Andy, this is another exciting one, which falls in nicely into the Extreme Rules stipulations and things like that, because it's a triple threat. So, you know, I expect to see many chairs and tables used, which probably won't be used at all, because this is WWE. When it comes to triple threats, it just doesn't happen, you know, despite the fact that there's no disqualification. But Andy, I do believe as well, this is another feud that's going to continue on past Extreme Rules, and I think it's going to be Heavy Machinery and Daniel Bryan and Rowan once more, because I think it's going to be Heavy Machinery pinning the New Day to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And I think Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the Planet Champions, will be like, we will never pinned, and then we go on to SummerSlam because those two face each other like that. What have you got?
I don't think it's the New Day. I don't think the New Day are winning.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me because I think Daniel Bryan and Rowan have been doing such a great job. I do think Heavy Machinery, the whole addition of them to the match, thinking what was the point in adding them, especially on a week's notice, 2 weeks' notice. I think they're getting the win, or either getting the win or they're taking the pinfall. But I think they'll get the belts, and I pretty much agree with exactly what you said. It'll be the catalyst for Bryan and Rowan to have something to beef about. Like it was a triple threat, we didn't lose, and then you go to SummerSlam. So I'm all down with that 5-rack ball.
All right, Bayley versus Bliss, Alexa Bliss that is, and Nikki Cross in a 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss has been off for the past week because she's got an illness, but she's still expected to compete at Extreme Rules. And of course, this past week, Nikki Cross has been saying to you, to Bayley, she's been saying, "Oh, you're going to need friends to back you up, against me and Alexa Bliss. I mean, friends. Who's a friend that we don't know? That's not in WWE at the moment. That could help Bayley. Who could it possibly be? I don't know." But overall, Andy, I think Bayley's going to win this one. I don't think it's going to be because of any help from Sasha Banks, but I do believe we are going to see Sasha Banks appear at the event to celebrate with Bayley after the win, and then we'll go on from there with those two. Not feuding against one another, because I think Banks is still on Raw, but I don't think Bliss and Nikki Cross are going to win this one, because I think the team's going to fall apart during the match, because they're going to be arguing over who should be pinning Bayley in order to win the match. And I think that's where the team explodes in a way, and we get Bliss versus Cross at SummerSlam, but Bayley stays as SmackDown champion, SmackDown Women's champion by winning this match. What have you got?
This is the one I'm probably the most on the fence about, I think, out of all the matches, because I don't know. At first, I thought that Nikki would get the win for her team, because I think if I remember rightly, what they said was whoever, basically, if Nikki Cross gets the victory, then Alexa Bliss still gets the title. So I was thinking that might happen, and then that furthers that feud. But then
apparently they're going to be co-champions, so champions at the same time, which I'm not fond of, really.
No, and there's the whole thing of like, these are both Raw superstars, and it's the SmackDown Championship. Bayley's a SmackDown superstar. I don't know. I was going to go with Nikki Cross for the win, but I think you've taught me around to your way of thinking. To be different, I'm gonna stick to my guns and go Nikki Cross gets the win. It makes no sense in terms of the roster split, the brand split, but what's the roster split these days? I'm gonna go with that. I think Banks will be back soon. I don't expect to make an appearance though, which makes Bayley look really, really awful, and with no friends. But I think she'll just go after Becky once the whole Lacey Evans thing's out of the way. But no, I'm gonna stick to my convictions and go with Alexa becomes champion, Nikki gets the pinfall.
Well, the funny thing is, Banks is advertised for Raw in 2 weeks' time, and she's also on the advertisement for SummerSlam on. So it's going to be interesting to see when she does return. And with all these teasers, could be Extreme Rules, but we'll have to wait and see.
She's been in Japan this past week off her own back, not as part of the WWE tour, training over there with Sendai, and I know she was definitely over there until literally as we're recording this today, the 10th of July that was when she was definitely there. Till after that, it was a bit up in the air. So she's been in the ring. She's ready to return at some point. It's going to be soon. It's just a case of, is it going to be Sunday?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. WWE Championship time. Kofi Kingston taking on Samoa Joe. Andy, this is a really exciting match for me, because I think it could be a little bit of a tease for what's to come for the future. And I think Samoa Joe is going to win the WWE Championship, because I think he's going to be moved over to SmackDown, and he's going to be that I can't say the word. No, I can't say the word. You know what I'm trying to say? Agonizing, or something like that. It's there. It's out there now. He's going to be that heel for Kofi Kingston to battle with over the summer and into September. And I think he's going to win the WWE Championship for Kofi to chase after him for it, and try and retain it back. But Samoa Joe's been looking really strong recently for me over the past few weeks, and I think WWE are going to capitalize on it by giving him the championship this Sunday at Extreme Rules. What do you got, Andy?
I think I love Samoa Joe. He's one of my absolute favourites in that company right now. And I kind of feel like this is almost now or never in terms of if you're going to make him a world champion, you can't wait that much longer. He's had cracks at AJ Styles. He went up against Brock Lesnar. He's Roman Reigns, and he always loses these world title matches on big events. And I think this is the one where it's like, right, if he doesn't do it in this feud, then he's never going to be world champ. Part of me thinks that they're not going to change any of the main titles, as in the Universal title, the WWE title, as long as Brock Lesnar's still got his money in the bank. But the other part of me is like, no, Joe's going to tap out Kofi Kingston. I like Kofi, but I really like Samoa Joe. So I'm leaning towards that. I think I'm with you. I think Joe needs the belt at some point in this feud, whether it's now, whether it's SummerSlam. And when you do give him it, now I'm talking myself around the other way. No, I think Kofi Kingston wins. I think that when you give Samoa Joe that, you want to do it later on in the feud, because if he was to win the title on Sunday, then they're going to have a couple of rematches over the next few pay-per-views, and you're pretty much certain then Kofi Kingston's probably going to get the belt back. And what better way to start the whole SmackDown on Fox than having these two balls of Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar at some point going off again? Balls. I'm going to go with Samoa Joe. I've taught myself into a million different scenarios now.
3 changes in the space of about 3 minutes for Andy. You can see how decisive he is with these picks and how much you can trust him. But nevertheless, let's move on to the last 2 matches on the card. Both tag team matches, which is surprising. Is Teddy Long booking the show. Tag team match with the Undertaker of all people as well, going up with Roman Reigns against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, a no holds barred match. This will probably be the main event of the show, I imagine, with the fact that the Undertaker's in the match, and it's quite interesting really, because over the past few weeks, it's just been those 4: Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, Reigns and Undertaker, and now suddenly out of nowhere really Kevin Owens has came into the mix really after that promo on SmackDown, and he looks like he could get himself involved in this match, especially with potentially costing Shane McMahon a spot in it or something like that, and having Drew McIntyre go and having to team up on his own against Roman Reigns and the Undertaker. And if you've seen the rumors as well, there's rumours out there saying that the Undertaker wants to face Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam too as well, to give him a huge push moving forward. And that would be something, just imagine Undertaker giving a tombstone to Drew McIntyre to end the match and to win it. That would be quite something. But at the end of the day as well, that kind of leaves Roman Reigns on his own, and he's like, well, this is Roman Reigns that they were talking about here. How does he not have anything to go out of afterwards on this? So it's kind of odd. I'm leaning towards Taker and Reigns for this, Andy, but I don't know how we're gonna get there, because what I've just said leaves Reigns on his own, but there's not many other ways that I don't think that you could.
Now who's changing his mind on the
No, I'm not changing my mind on the result. I still think Taker and Reigns are going to win, but I just don't see how this benefits Reigns at all, really, after winning at WrestleMania and then at Money in the Bank and then at a Super Showdown. So yeah, I don't see how we could escape from this, Andy, with Roman Reigns. It's still intact.
Remember, young Conor, that the last 3 pay-per-views we've predicted Shane McMahon to lose, and the last 3 pay-per-views Shane McMahon has won. The poor Miz, oh my god.
So streak can't go on forever.
So yeah, I was thinking that it was going to be Roman and Undertaker were going to get the win before this week's SmackDown. Even more so now, I think, as you mentioned, Kevin Owens possibly getting involved, because I think as hot as Kevin Owens felt on SmackDown, crazy that you give a talent who can talk a bit of freedom to talk, and he does really well. Crazy. I think.
Who would have thought it?
I know. Genius. As white hot as KO felt, Stone Cold KO felt on Tuesday, I think you can't not have him on this card at some point. You'd have thought maybe that they might go on the match with, maybe they still announce it before the event of him and Ziggler one-on-one. But I think it looks like they're going in the direction of basically Stone Cold KO versus Shane O'Mac, which is Vince Part 2 sort of thing. So I think Roman Reigns and Taker get the win here. How they get to McIntyre and Taker, that'll be interesting to see. I'm going to guess that Shane takes the pin. And again, like I mentioned with other people, McIntyre can go with the you didn't beat me sort of thing. If that match is going to happen at SummerSlam. But I think Roman and Taker get the win. That's it. Where Roman Reigns goes, though, that's an interesting point from here, because I suppose you've got Randy Orton ready to return. He's been clear.
That's a good show. Yeah.
Other than that, it is. If you look at the heel side of things, it's like, well, Samoa Joe looks like he's going to be tied up with Kofi for a little while, but that match has been overdone anyway. Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. Where do you look then? It is. You probably fall down to. I'd say you go to.
Orton.
Aren't you? I don't know. Yeah, no, I think it has to go to Orton when he's ready to come back. But it's just, is that going to excite people? Probably not. And then is Orton going to get involved at the Extreme Rules to set that match up with an RKO out of nowhere? God, no. I don't care about this match. It's really sad. Anyway, I think Roman and Taker get the win.
Next, and the last match on the card is the longest match name in history. The last chance winner takes all mixed tag team Extreme Rules match for both the WWE Raw Women's Championship and the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the champions, taking on the challengers of Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Where we've seen those challengers before? Oh, for the past 3 pay-per-views in a effing row. That's where we've seen them before. Right, Andy.
Wow.
Simply put, Andy, there is no way that WWE can allow Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans to win this match, because hell will freeze over and it'll be the end of them, I think. And before even AEW, who's had a chance to put down their flag in the battlefield of what is now the new wrestling war between the two promotions. And I think Rollins and Becky Lynch have to come out of this looking really strong, headed into SummerSlam, before they take on new challengers, which will probably be for Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, whether it's not a cash-in at Extreme Rules or an announcement of his cash-in to take place at SummerSlam, and then for Becky Lynch, it will probably be, I imagine, the return of Sasha Banks, white-hot heel, coming in literally after the pay-per-view and putting in the bank statement, or just debuting it, even maybe like a new finisher or something like that, just to give her a bit of heat going in to the SummerSlam season. But overall, Andy, I think Rollins and Becky Lynch will win this match and retain their titles. What have you got?
They have to. To be honest, I think individually at different points, I could easily see Baron Corbin beating Seth Rollins and becoming world champ. It's going to happen at some point that he's going to get a world title run, because he's one of the few annoying heels that they have. I could, if it was individual matches of the two, I could see either belt changing hands. But when both, you're not going to take the titles off Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch at the same time in the same match. No. If you do, then that's you're at a state of really, what are you doing? No. And you touched on it then. These feuds need to end. They need to end. And if there was, for some reason, a title change, that just prolongs them, and nobody cares anymore about. Nobody wants to see Baron Corbin against Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch against Lacey Evans. For as good as all four are in their own ways, it just put it all behind you. And that what this almost feels like that, where especially with the Super Showdown stuff with Rollins and Baron Corbin, it just kind of feels like this was just they were too many shows too quickly, and they didn't really know what to do. And it was almost a case of, well, we can't. If you don't want to do things to SummerSlam, we can't get things rolling for SummerSlam until after Extreme Rules. So let's just get to there, let's stumble to there, and then let's reset and restart. So yeah, I 100%. I think the most certain result on the card is, if it's the main event, it's the main event. But is the Rollins and Lynch match against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
All right, 2 trivia questions, Andy, for you. Brock Lesnar cash in, still Money in the Bank holder. Is he cashing in at Extreme Rules? No. know. I'm going to go for yes. I think he is going to cash in at Extreme Rules. And I think it's going to be on Seth Rollins, and he's going to get that Universal Championship back for those two feud going into SummerSlam. Yeah.
So Brock Lesnar walks out of Extreme Rules as the champ.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
It's an actual story for SummerSlam then. But yeah.
This could be interesting just to finish off, because it's going to be looking befuddled really as to what does Becky Lynch do? Does Becky Lynch attack Brock Lesnar when he's cashing in? Oh, that could be an interesting sight. You never know. Just attacked Baron Corbin the other week, previously this week. So that'll be.
I may have covered that this week. It's something that I've done with work, where that's one thing I think everybody wants to see, is that visual of Brock Lesnar being the bully and Becky Lynch just turning around and squaring up to him. No physicality, but just that. I think the crowd will lose their mind if and when we get that at some point, whether it's Sunday, whether it's some point later in the year. I think that's one of those moments you can't afford to miss out on. It's like there's you've got an opportunity here. You've got this lady who is the big star in the company, regardless of Brock Lesnar, regardless of Seth Rollins. She's a badass. Everybody loves her. The majority of people love her anyway. She's as popular as anybody's been for the last couple of years. And you've got the Beast. And I just think the Beast and the Man is a great dynamic to play off. Not a match, but just for a little moment. Just as a tease of what could be.
And finally, the 24/7 title. As much as it's been around the world these days on Drew McIntyre's many honeymoons to Orlando and things like that,
It was in the last video. To your credit, you did predict that it would be defended on defended on Lost at Drake Maverick's wedding. Made for great TV.
Yeah. What do you think it's going to be exchanging hands, and how many times do you think it's going to exchange hands?
I think it'll be around. I don't know, Yeah, no, I think.
Does Renee threaten divorce if Drew McIntyre doesn't relinquish the title? That's what I want to know.
Drew McIntyre?
Not Drew McIntyre. Drake Maverick, even.
That's harsh. I think that'll happen at some point. I've got a feeling that there'll be one title change. I think Truth will win it back. I do feel a bit. I mean, I'm really enjoying I'm not gonna lie. I'm really enjoying the whole 24/7 part of TV. I do feel a little bit sorry though, the fact that obviously Truth is brilliant, and Drake Maverick is brilliant in their roles. They've been fantastic, but the other guys just run around. The rest of the dudes, nobody else gets talked about. Nobody else tries for a pinfall. They just run around like idiots. But I think there'll be one change. I do think it'll be R-Truth leaving with it, and then I think Maverick will be trying to get it back over the next couple of shows. But it would be quite nice at this point though to maybe have somebody else properly involved in that, because it's very much a standard two-person feud with a lot of background players.
Yeah, I think it's going to be two changes. I think Maverick's going to lose it for R-Truth, then we'll have a newcomer come into the frame to pin R-Truth, and I actually think it is going to be
Brock Lesnar.
No, it is going to be. I don't know. It's going to be someone random completely. Someone that I don't even know about.
EC3 get a crack at it. So I think he's such an entertaining dude. He was when he was allowed to be entertaining when he's an Impact. So it's I think he'd be great.
I just think we need some freshness. I don't care who it is. I think the 24/7 spotlight really provides its own allure for a superstar to have the stage to shine itself on the mid card and then potentially be pushed up further. So I think any superstar should be given the opportunity really to have that title reign, and I think it could come at Extreme Rules heading into SummerSlam, and then we'll have the whole 5 hours of SummerSlam being sprinkled over with 24/7 backstage segments throughout, and it's going to be very enjoyable. Right.
I love it.
Yes.
It offers the talent to show their comedic chops. It gives them a spotlight to try new things, to have a bit of humour, to be entertaining, to connect with an audience. Similar to as in back in the day, after his initial run with Hardcore Holly, and that ran stale really quick. Would anybody have given a toss about Crash Holly if it wasn't for the Hardcore title? No, probably not. But that gave him a spotlight, and he made the most of it. Same with like the Mean Street Posse were involved in that at the time. It was, and then Rhino and Raven. Raven was brilliant. But yeah, it's that sort of thing where there's an opportunity there for somebody. People that wouldn't normally be on the show. Titus O'Neil wouldn't normally be on the show these days. R-Truth might not even. Drake Maverick definitely wouldn't as a in-ring talent. I don't think, sadly, even though he's great. So yeah, it's there's an opportunity there, and I agree with you. Maybe some fresh talent. Maybe EC3. That's what I'm hoping.
Maybe perhaps even a woman to pin.
Carmella.
That would be
Molly Holly. Yeah,
I'll be interested as well. All right, what are your own predictions for Extreme Rules? Let us know in the comments section below this video.